President Donald Trump stands firm on his use of tariffs, making them a cornerstone of his economic and foreign policy agenda. Throughout his presidency and beyond, Trump has consistently defended tariffs as a necessary tool to protect American jobs and industries from what he describes as unfair foreign competition. He argues that these tariffs have not only made America stronger, but have also elevated the country's reputation on the world stage. According to Trump, imposing tariffs sends a clear message that the United States will no longer tolerate trade deals that disadvantage American workers or undermine the nation's economic interests. Trump claims these trade policies have fueled robust economic growth, kept inflation in check, and protected American interests from being eroded by global competitors. He often points to the resurgence of American manufacturing, the bustling activity at ports, and the performance of the stock market as evidence that his approach is working. Trump's message is clear. We have all the cards. He positions tariffs as a powerful advantage in global negotiations, insisting that America's economic leverage can force other countries to the bargaining table and secure better deals for the nation. He credits tariffs for more than just economic gains. Trump asserts that the revenue generated from tariffs has helped strengthen the military, secure the nation's borders, and provide resources for critical infrastructure. He frequently links these policies to a broader vision of national strength and security. Trump frames his tariff strategy as a comprehensive policy that's improved both national security and America's global standing. He argues that by standing up to foreign adversaries and demanding fair treatment, the United States has regained respect and influence around the world. This narrative is central as the Supreme Court now considers the legality of his approach. The outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications, not just for Trump's legacy, but for the future of American trade policy and executive power. Trump uses his Truth Social platform to communicate these points directly to his supporters, bypassing traditional media channels. Through frequent posts and videos, he reiterates his belief that tariffs are essential for American prosperity and security, and encourages his followers to stand firm against critics. He insists tariffs have made the country wealthier and safer, pointing to rising incomes, low unemployment, and improved border security as proof of their effectiveness. Trump often highlights stories of American families and businesses who, he says, have benefited from his tough stance on trade. He continues to champion tariffs as vital to his economic vision, promising that if given another term, he will expand these policies to further protect American interests. Trump frames tariffs as a patriotic duty, urging Americans to support measures that put the nation first. By framing opposition as an attack on America's prosperity, he mobilizes his base and pressures institutions reviewing his policies. Trump's rhetoric often paints critics as out of touch with the needs of ordinary Americans, and he calls on his supporters to make their voices heard. The Supreme Court's upcoming decision will be pivotal for the nation's direction. As the country awaits the ruling, Trump's unwavering defense of tariffs continues to shape the debate over America's economic future and its role in the world. The Supreme Court is reviewing a case that challenges Trump's authority to impose tariffs using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The justices must decide if Trump's use of this law for tariffs was legitimate. The outcome could redefine presidential power over international trade for decades. Opponents argue Trump overstepped his authority, creating economic uncertainty. They hope the court will limit the president's ability to use tariffs unilaterally. A ruling for Trump would validate his broad interpretation of executive power. A ruling against him would reinforce a more traditional, rules-based trade system. The decision will send a powerful signal about the future of American economic policy and the presidency. The Trump administration has made it clear that tariffs are not just a tool for trade negotiations, but a cornerstone of their strategy for both economic prosperity and national security. Officials argue that by imposing tariffs on imported goods, especially from countries like China, the U.S. can protect its industries from unfair competition and level the playing field for American workers and businesses. By making imports more expensive, the administration hopes to encourage companies to manufacture more products domestically, revitalizing American factories and creating jobs in key sectors like steel, automotive, and technology. This, they believe, will help rebuild the backbone of the American economy and reduce the nation's dependence on foreign suppliers. Reducing reliance on foreign goods is seen as a way to strengthen national resilience, especially in times of global uncertainty or conflict. Supporters say that a robust domestic supply chain is crucial for ensuring that Americans have access to essential products, from electronics to food and medical supplies. The administration draws a direct connection between a strong economy and a secure nation, arguing that revenue generated from tariffs can be used to fund the military, enhance border security, and invest in critical infrastructure. They claim that economic strength underpins America's ability to defend itself and project power globally. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and other officials frame tariffs as vital for safeguarding America's long-term strategic interests, insisting that short-term pain is necessary for long-term gain. However, critics from across the political and economic spectrum argue that tariffs often backfire. They point out that higher import costs are usually passed on to consumers, leading to increased prices for everyday goods, from groceries to electronics. Small businesses in particular may struggle to absorb these costs, sometimes resulting in layoffs or closures. Opponents also warn that other countries, especially major trading partners, like China, can retaliate by imposing their own tariffs on American exports, hurting U.S. farmers, manufacturers, and workers. These trade disputes can disrupt global supply chains, delay shipments, and create uncertainty for businesses, making the economic environment more volatile and unpredictable. The debate continues in Congress, the media, and among economists, centering on whether tariffs truly strengthen the nation or simply create new vulnerabilities by isolating the U.S. from global markets and innovation. With so much at stake for both economic growth and national security, the question remains, can tariffs deliver on their promises, or will they ultimately do more harm than good? As the Supreme Court deliberates, Trump warns that overturning his tariffs could trigger economic chaos and national decline. He directly urges justices to do the right thing, framing the case as a fight for America's survival. Trump's rhetoric paints opponents as unpatriotic, rallying his base and intensifying political pressure on the judiciary. Legal experts worry this undermines the court's independence and public trust. The case is now seen as both a legal and political battle, deepening national divisions. The court's decision will be viewed through a partisan lens, regardless of the outcome. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick expresses strong confidence that the Supreme Court will uphold Trump's tariff authority. He believes the administration's legal arguments are solid and expects a favorable ruling. Lutnick notes that even if the court rules against them, Trump has other legal options to continue imposing trade restrictions. This signals the administration's determination to pursue its tariff agenda, regardless of the outcome. The message: the fight for aggressive trade policy will continue. Lutnick's confidence reassures supporters and projects strength to opponents. The administration's contingency planning shows they're prepared for any scenario. The Supreme Court case is just one battle in a larger war over America's trade future. To broaden support, Trump proposes giving a one-time $2,000 dividend from tariff revenue to low and middle-income families. The plan aims to offset rising living costs and make tariff benefits tangible for ordinary Americans. Legal and political hurdles remain, as Congress would need to approve such payments. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer argues the one-time payment wouldn't fuel long-term inflation. The proposal is a powerful political tool, shifting the conversation around tariffs. Whether it's implemented or not, it reframes tariffs as a direct benefit to families. Tariff revenue has surged, reaching $215.2 billion in 2025 and $40.4 billion so far in 2026. The administration touts this as proof of success and suggests using surplus funds for national priorities, including debt reduction. Critics argue higher import costs are passed to consumers, fueling inflation and acting as a hidden tax. They warn tariffs disrupt supply chains, hurt competitiveness, and can lead to job losses. The debate isn't just about revenue, but the broader impact on the U.S. economy. Supporters see tariffs as fiscal responsibility. Opponents see them as harmful to growth. The true net effect remains hotly contested. The outcome will shape future trade and economic policy. The Trump administration's trade strategy goes far beyond simply imposing tariffs. It represents a comprehensive effort to renegotiate global trade deals, challenge foreign regulations, and fundamentally reshape the way America interacts with the world economy. By taking a more assertive stance, the administration aims to address what it sees as long-standing imbalances and unfair practices that have disadvantaged American businesses and workers for decades. The overarching goal is clear: to reshape global trade, in a way that puts American industries and workers at the forefront. This means not only protecting existing jobs, but also creating new opportunities for growth and innovation within the United States. By prioritizing domestic manufacturing and encouraging the production of American-made goods, the administration hopes to revitalize key sectors of the economy and ensure long-term prosperity for American families. To achieve these aims, officials are targeting European non-tariff barriers that restrict U.S. exports and are actively seeking new markets for American goods around the world. This involves complex negotiations, building new alliances, and sometimes confronting traditional partners to secure better terms for American businesses. The administration believes that by opening new doors and breaking down barriers, the U.S. can expand its economic influence globally. This confrontational approach is central to the America First philosophy, which prioritizes national interests above all else. Supporters argue that this bold strategy is necessary to restore American strength and competitiveness, while critics warn it could lead to trade wars and strained international relationships. Regardless, the administration remains committed to putting American priorities at the heart of every trade decision. Now, a pivotal Supreme Court case will determine the legal tools available for future trade policy. The outcome could redefine the balance of power between the executive branch and Congress when it comes to setting tariffs and negotiating trade agreements, with far-reaching implications for how America conducts business on the world stage. A ruling in favor of the Trump administration could embolden future presidents to use tariffs and other aggressive measures more freely, potentially reshaping America's approach to global commerce. On the other hand, a ruling against could shift the focus back to Congress, requiring more formal negotiations and bipartisan cooperation to enact significant trade changes. Either way, the Supreme Court's decision will be a landmark moment for America's economic future. It will set a precedent that could influence trade policy for generations, affecting everything from job creation to the stability of financial markets and the global perception of American leadership. As the nation awaits the outcome, the balance of power in Washington and America's role on the global stage truly hangs in the balance. The choices made now will shape not only the country's economic destiny, but also its standing as a leader in the interconnected world of tomorrow.